Well, I've been showing canning recipes from this Better Home and Garden Canning Guide, but it also has some other food preservation. And there's only 3 really for dehydrating, but one of them was for the maple cracked pepper jerky. I mean, that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? And it uses a technique that I've never used before. Let me read this for you. Steaming the meat before marinating it not only makes it food safe, but it also keeps the strips, it also helps the strips to dehydrate evenly. Steaming cooks the meat evenly, including the exterior, which would get overly dry if the meat were roasted instead of steamed. Okay, I will try it. So we're gonna make jerky first by steaming, then by marinating, and then by dehydrating. So come along with me and see how this tastes. So here I have 2 chuck eye steaks. I think these will make great jerky. It's a little more than 3 pounds. And I've got them fit here in my steamer pan. And right now I'm warming up some water for the steamer. So my water's boiling. Take off my lid here. Put in my meat. There we go. Put it on the top. Okay, Google, set a timer for 10 minutes. So our time's up. Put our thing in. It's supposed to be about 160. This is 132. Let's see, what does this say? Okay, it needs just a little longer. Be back in another 5 minutes. Okay, we've done another 5 minutes. Now, let's see. Oh, I think it would get up to 160, so I think that's good enough. So now I'm going to take this top part out and actually put it in the freezer for 45 minutes because it's so much easier to slice meat thin when it's partially frozen. So we want to cut across grain, and we want these, oh, maybe about that thick. And we really don't need to have any of the fat on it. If we can get the fat off, that's great. But as you can see, this is slicing up really easy. Much easier because it's just a little frozen, not completely. This is all we want to do. Get it all cut up, and then we'll be back for the marinade. So here's our meat. Now we have to get ready to make our marinade. First, we want a cup of low sodium soy sauce. And we're going to need 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. One. And that's real maple syrup. Okay. That's one there. And then we're going to get 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 2. And then we're going to want 4 cloves garlic. Let's see, I love garlic, so I'm sure I'll put in more than I need. I really put in 4 teaspoons garlic. So I want 2 teaspoons of the ground up peppercorn, but using this, you know, it would take them forever to grind them up. So I used my coffee grinder instead. So in addition to our 2 teaspoons of ground up assorted peppercorns, we have 2 teaspoons of sea salt and 1 teaspoon of thyme. So pour that in. And now let's just mix it up. And I should use this so I can get it off the side. Now I'm just going to pour this in that bag. And get all the spices out there. Now you don't have to put it in a Ziploc bag. I just think that's an easier way to marinate. You could put it right in the bowl that you mix your marinade from, but this works for me. Then we're just going to zip it shut. As much air out. Okay. Now, what I always do is rub it. I want to try to make sure I can get as much of the meat covered as possible. So, once you get done massaging your bag, it's time to put it in the refrigerator. And I always put my bag in a bowl just in case we have a leak. Now it says you can leave it in there an hour or 2 hours. I'm probably going to do about an hour and a half. But I'm going to come by about every 15 minutes and switch the bag, so I'll make sure all the pieces of meat get a good chance to marinate. So now it's time to stick it in the refrigerator. The time's up from the marinating. Now I'm laying it on this tray, and that way if any of the juice goes through, it's going to go in the sink. As soon as I think it's done its draining, I'm going to put it in my dehydrator for, I have a meat temperature, but probably about 160 degrees I believe is what you need to use. So it's going to be 5-6 hours. We'll be back when it's done. So here's the finished product. It made a tray and a half, and it took about 6 hours. Okay, I'm pausing the video here, and I'm interjecting this after the video was actually made because I found out that my husband did not turn off the dehydrator in 6 hours. Instead, it was 7.5 hours. He must have got involved in a football game. So the possibility is there that the texture of the meat would have been different. Now we'll never know. Let's do a taste test. Well, it definitely tastes the soy. Sometimes there's a little like grit on it, which I'm sure is the grounded peppercorn. So it has just a little heat after you chew. But now this actual jerky can keep for 3 weeks right on your kitchen counter. It doesn't need refrigeration. So that is definitely an advantage. It is more like when you buy, I can't remember the name of the jerky, but it's in a red and black package. You know, it's the drier. It's kind of more, how should I describe it? Papery is not the right word. More on little tiny pieces, coarse pieces, as opposed to jerky I usually make, which I usually refrigerate, which has more, it keeps the texture of the meat. This almost seems like the meat was ground, but it wasn't. So I guess if you're looking for a recipe which you want to take your jerky camping with you and you don't want to worry about refrigeration, this would be a great jerky to make. It's pretty easy and it keeps for a long time. This is Potpourri saying please subscribe, share the knowledge, and thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you like this video.